Hello, everybody, live from the garage. It's me. Oh no, Nora. Here we are. Oh my goodness. Today, guys, we're going to take a deep dive into this new contract of Scientology's. Now, prior to coming on air here, I got glued. I know I'm on time. Shh, guys, it's me and I'm on time. It's the real me. Okay. But I have been doing nothing but research this morning. Thank you, Windy City, for sending everybody on over to come be here. But I dove into this with gusto and consulted independent legal advice to confirm my suspicions about this document and its legal. I didn't turn. I'm on time, but you know, I don't have my light on, guys. Let me turn that on. And now I look so pretty. Look at that. Totally different, right, guys? With that light on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if you guys follow Tony Ortega, he released a Substack today about this new contract. He received it from an independent source. It was anonymous. But this 4-page document, I did have my legal team go over it with a fine-tooth comb. And according to them, this is legal. And let me just tell you, I'm still reeling from that. I'm still reeling from the fact that this document is a legal document. Okay, and we're going to dive into it here. We're going to break it down. Let's get down to business. Okay, here we go. And guys, I'm prepared. I got all my tabs ready today. I'm on fire about this, for realsies. All right, so is that the one I want? Yes, this is the one I want. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to put myself down here in the little baby corner like that, so you guys can see this as big as possible. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more here, because it's teeny tiny. Let's just make it big. Is that better? Okay, here we go. That's better. All right, guys. So Church of Scientology of blank, because they didn't want to even make one for each individual org, guys. You have to write in whatever organization that you are starting at. Let's just look at the decorations here. First, we've got the Dianetic symbol here in the left corner, the Scientology symbol on the right. We've got the sun never sets on Scientology. That's what that little sun symbol means. And it's like, as you can see, it's a sunset, but it never sets on it because it's everywhere. Okay. Again, the Scientology symbol, pledge of religious commitment, application for religious service and general release. Now, my legal team let me know that this was clearly written by an actual lawyer, okay, to make this binding. All right, so here we go. I blank, you got to print your name here, am applying to serve as a member of the staff of the Church of Scientology of insert city here. Hereinafter, the church. Okay. Pledge of religious commitment. 1, I am a Scientologist and want to dedicate the next 5 years, either check that box, or 2.5 years, because when you join staff, you can do 2.5 or 5 years, okay? To the service of the Scientology religion and to accomplishing its religious goals. I have also pledged myself to the highest levels of ethical conduct as set forth in the creed of the Church of Scientology and the Code of a Scientologist, each of which I have read and understand. So, in those 2 documents, guys, they try to make it clear that, you know, you're going to be above board, and you're going to, you know, really keep to the morals of the group. Okay. And we'll go over those two things here in just a second. Okay. So the creed of the church and the code of a Scientologist. Why are they two different things? Why do you have a creed and a code? Because Scientology. That's why, guys. Yeah. Okay. So both of these things, of course, are found on their own website. So I want to go to the source of source here, guys. All right. We're first going to go over the creed. This is from Scientology.org. Okay. From the What is Scientology book. Look, guys, I'll get to know the real you. Take a free personality test. I'm going to pass. Hard pass on that. All right. Creed of the Church. Creed of the Church of Scientology was written by L. Ron Hubbard shortly after the church was formed in Los Angeles on February 18th, 1954. After Mr. Hubbard issued this creed from his office in Phoenix, Arizona, the Church of Scientology adopted it as its creed because it succinctly states what Scientologists believe. We of the church believe that all men of whatever race, color, or creed were created with equal rights. That all men have inalienable rights to their own religious practices and their performance. Inalienable, I cannot tell you how many times I had to clear this word for people. That means you cannot strip it away. You cannot take it away. It cannot be, it's above the law. Okay. It's just like born within you. Okay. That all men have inalienable rights to their own lives, that all men have inalienable rights to their sanity, that all men have inalienable rights to their own defense, that all men have inalienable rights to conceive, choose, assist, or support their own organizations, churches, and governments. That all men have inalienable rights to think freely, to talk freely, to write freely their own opinions, and to counter or utter or write upon the opinions of others. I don't think so. I don't think they believe that. I don't think they follow that one. That all men have inalienable rights to the creation of their own kind. Not racist at all, guys. That the souls of men have the rights of men. The study of the mind and the healing of mentally caused ills should not be alienated from religion or condoned in non-religious fields. And that no agency less than God has the power to suspend or set aside these rights overtly or covertly. So nobody but God can take away Scientology, guys. And we of the church believe that man is basically good, except for all of us nasty, nasty SPs. That he is seeking to survive, that his survival depends on himself and upon his fellows and his attainment of brotherhood with the universe. And we of the church believe that the laws of God forbid man to destroy his own kind. No white supremacy here. Destroy the sanity of another. Okay, fair game. To destroy or enslave another soul. Okay, whole sea organization, RPF. To destroy or reduce the survival of one's companions or one's group. Okay, Scientology. And we of the church believe that the spirit can be saved and that the spirit alone can save or heal the body. Okay, very intense, very intense. And this last line here is why none of them go to the doctor. That the spirit alone can save or heal the body. That's how they all end up with stage 4 cancer, guys. Okay. Code of Scientologists, just as wackadoodle. Here we go. Curious about yourself? Your first step to find out more can be as simple as a free personality test. They are deceptive AF. All right. Code of a Scientologist. The Code of a Scientologist was first issued in 1954. Oh, winky dink. Same year he founded the church. L. Ron Hubbard provides a Scientologist with guidelines for fighting for human rights and justice through social reform. It is a vital code for any Scientologist active in the community. The code was revised in 1969 and again in 1973. And given here is its final version. Here we go. As a Scientologist, I pledge myself to the Code of Scientology for the good of all. To keep Scientologists, the public, and the press accurately informed concerning Scientology, the world of mental health and society. They don't do that. See, I could just say, and I haven't read this for over a decade, guys. So I'm upholding point 1 of the Code of Scientologists. I am keeping everyone accurately informed about Scientology. There you go. Who knew I was still practicing Scientology on the low? To use the best I know of Scientology to the best of my ability to help my family, friends, groups, and the world. And I'm doing that too because I use none of it. So that's the best of it. 0. There you go. To refuse to accept for processing and refuse to accept money from any pre-clear or group I feel I cannot honestly help. Wow. This is part of the more able Dilly Bob, but also how many people are they bilking out of money that they know aren't going to get any help? That is a big one. That is a big one, guys. Number 4, to decry and do all I can to abolish any and all abuses against life and mankind. Does that include imploding your own church? Because that would be it. That would be it, because you guys are committing atrocious human rights violations. Okay. 5, to expose and help abolish any and all physically damaging practices in the field of mental health. This is their ongoing war with psychiatry. They think all of that's bad and they are the only good thing. To help clean up and keep clean the field of mental health, again, anti-psychiatry, to bring about an atmosphere of safety and security in the field of mental health by eradicating its abuses and brutality. Well, how about your own abuses and brutality? Let's eradicate that. Let's turn the camera inward and do a selfie POV and look at yourself, Scientology. Start with the man in the mirror. All right. Number 8, to support true humanitarian endeavors in the fields of human rights, thus Marisol Nichols' front group and all of their other tiny front groups. To embrace the policy of equal justice for all, unless you're in an argument with a Scientologist, then you go to arbitration, which is only in Scientology's favor. To work for freedom of speech in the world, unless you're a protester outside one of their organizations, then, hot dog, you're interrupting religious services, which is BS. That is the biggest load of BS I've ever heard. And if protesters are interrupting religious services, then the people, the parishioners who've paid for that service should be the ones filing this complaint with the LAPD and all these other places, not Scientology as a whole. Okay, well, bring out the people who I interrupted. Did I interrupt the purif that's in the basement where they can't hear anything? Did I interrupt a session that's inside one of the interior rooms surrounded by other walls? Did I interrupt a course where they have all the windows closed all the time and the AC running? Please explain to me which of the parishioners heard me saying you can leave, and I will gladly apologize to them for interrupting their service. Like that's what we need to do, because this is ridiculous. They don't support free speech. They don't support free speech. That's just nuts. Number 11, to actively decry the suppression of knowledge, wisdom, philosophy, or data, which would help mankind. BS, BS, BS. 12, to support the freedom of religion, only their religion. 13, to help Scientology orgs and groups ally themselves with public groups. Safe pointing 101 baked into the code of a Scientologist right here. To teach Scientology at a level it can be understood and used by the recipients. That's why they have the schools. That's why they have the Literacy Project. That's why they have Narcanon, Criminon, all these basic groups. Okay, to insert Scientology at the level it can be understood. They just water it down a bit to get everybody indoctrinated slowly until you get to the big Gaza. Oh, where were we? 15, to stress the freedom to use Scientology as a philosophy in all its applications and variations in the humanities. So they're saying in the Code of a Scientologist, guys, it's not a religion, it's a philosophy. This is a little like, what? 16, to insist upon standard and unvaried Scientology as an applied activity in ethics, processing, and administration in Scientology organizations. Well, that's impossible now because they have completely changed the tech about 8 times, so there's no standard anymore. It's just whatever Miscavige wants since he took over. 17, to take my share of responsibility for the impact of Scientology upon the world. Like what other church out there? Raise your hand if you're Catholic and you're supposed to be responsible for the impact of Catholicism on the world. Did the Pope ever say that during one of his addresses, at the Vatican? I think not. I mean, this is nuts. To increase the numbers and strength of Scientology over the world. Recruit, recruit, recruit. To set an example of the effectiveness and wisdom of Scientology. This is a big one because you always have to be successful. You always have to be looking like a product of Scientology. And 20, to make this world a saner, better place. Yeah, guys, Scientology's been around, as they said here in this document and the other one, since 1954. Let's look at the state of the world in 2024, 70 years later. What are we thinking? Is it better? Is it a saner, better place? I mean, in some respects, yes, some respects, no. I mean, I don't know. It's just a bunch of malarkey. Anyway, here we go. So let's go back to our first. We're still on the first page of the contract, guys. All right. So hang on one second. That sweatshirt, y'all, is toasty, and I am in the garage, so I had to abscond with it here for a moment. Okay. So let's get to point number 2. All right. So now we know, back to point number 1. I have pledged myself to the highest levels of ethical conduct as set forth in the Creed of the Church of Scientology and the Code of a Scientologist, each of which I have read and understand. So now we've all read and understood that. Okay. That's what they're pledging to. Number 2, I believe that the sacred goal of all Scientologists is to help each being regain his or her full spiritual potential. The path to this greater spiritual awareness was discovered by L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology religion, and set forth in his written and recorded words that comprise the Scientology scripture. This is the only place I've ever seen Scientology's stuff referred to as scripture. I also believe that these advanced spiritual states can be attained only through the practice of Scientology religious services. Okay, so nothing is going to work except for what L. Ron Hubbard exactly wrote or said and the exact application of those words, verbal or written. Okay. Number 3, I understand that the church, like all Scientology churches, operates for the sole purpose of assisting individuals to attain their true spiritual potential through the practice of the Scientology religion. Okay, this is all banal stuff so far. Like, we're gonna assist parishioners to do Scientology. I believe that serving on the church's staff would be the greatest thing I could do to forward my personal sacred goal, the betterment of mankind. And for this reason, I now declare my deepest personal spiritual commitment to Scientology as my religion and to accomplish its religious purposes by pledging the next few years in dedicated religious service to the church. Now we're getting super culty, guys. Now this point right here from 4 on, it's going to get a bit wild. Here we go. So now we're going to go to page 2. Look at me technologying, guys. And we're going to zoom. All I want to do is zoom, 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 zoom. And yeah, no, sorry. I think of that every single time. And you boom, boom. Just shake your rump. All right. I don't want to get a strike for using that. It's such a great song. All right. Pledge of religious service. Bum, bum, bum. I unconditionally apply for active service in the church's religious program as a member of its staff on the following terms and conditions. 1, active participation. I recognize and know to be true that the church, like all other churches of Scientology, is a spiritual center for its parishioners and the focal point of their religion in the community. Okay. The church provides introductory lectures, workshops, seminars, and other Scientology religious services to people new to the religion, and spiritual counseling and training in the Scientology scripture to existing parishioners. These are facts. That's what they do. The church also provides other religious services for its parishioners, such as marriages, funerals, naming ceremonies, ordination of ministers, and weekly Sunday services. Yes, they do all of those things. Okay. The church also works to make Dianetics and Scientology broadly known in its community and disseminates not only the Scientology faith, but also the many social betterment programs the church supports. The church provides a safe and stable place for all Scientology activities in its area and for assisting its parishioners to move up the bridge to total freedom. Okay, so all those other activities are things that we've discussed before. Okay, Narconon, Criminon, the Way to Happiness, all these little front groups. And so their dissemination of Scientology includes the body routing that we've gone over before, that they are trying to hand out the flyers to get people to come in and see the little movie, and then they rope them into other things, right? It's so gross. It's making the phlegm in my body erupt here, guys, because I'm so upset about it. I understand that all church staff are expected to make a total commitment to their religious service and must be on post, that's post equals job, and performing their religious responsibilities every weekday for staff serving in the church's day organization, or every evening and all weekend for staff serving in the church's foundation organization. I understand that I will be posted, placed in a job, in the church where I am most needed, and that while my position may vary over time, my primary duties will be contributing to the ministry and dissemination of Dianetics and Scientology services and the overall accomplishment of the church's religious mission. So what this portion is saying, that even though if they recruit you and say, oh my God, you're so smart, Nora, you can get through courses, we're going to put you on the TTC, on the Technical Training Corps, and we're going to train you up to be an auditor, and you're going to audit in the HGC, and they give you this whole pitch, and you're like, yes, I'm going to go be an auditor. I'm so excited. You sign the contract. You get on staff and like, oh, just kidding. We need a janitor. So that's your job now. And you're like, no, I'm going to be an auditor. That's what we talked about. Nope. Right here. Here's the clause. I'm going to be put where I'm most needed. Whatever that is. Even if you don't have skills in that job, you're going to be put there. Okay. So they just loopholed themselves out of any bait and switch type situation. Okay. Conduct. I understand that all members of the church's staff are expected to uphold the highest standards of personal ethical conduct at all times. I further understand that every church staff member is expected to be totally familiar with and constantly observe the ecclesiastical, moral, and ethical policies, rules, norms, and practices of the Scientology religion and the administrative policies and procedures of the church. These are all published in the form of Hubbard Communication Office policy letters and bulletins, back to the top, and various directives that are issued by Church of Scientology International, the mother church of the Scientology religion. I fully and gladly accept this strict standard of ethical conduct. So, translation, know the gay. because that's in the doctrine. No the gay, no polyamory, no bisexuality, no other pronouns, no nothing. Man, woman, marriage, that's it. Don't touchy unless you're married, okay? Post. Point number 3. I know that all Scientology churches' activities are intended to further a religious purpose. Even the little street fairs they host, that's forwarding a religious purpose. So it's a recruitment event, even though they say it's open to the public and it's a public event that they're hosting. According to this, all at Church of Scientology activities are intended to further a religious purpose. Interesting. As a member of the church, I am aware that each post or position within the church is, without exception, in furtherance of a religious purpose. Okay, so the janitor, furthering a religious purpose. The gardener, furthering a religious purpose. You know, the supervisors, auditors, registrars who take all the money, everybody who works inside there, furthering a religious purpose. Okay, this is very important for their legal argument here, which I will go over here in a minute. Accordingly, depending on the needs and requirements of the church, I know that I may be assigned or reassigned to a wide range of ministerial duties, ranging from managing portions of the church's functions and activities, executing religious programs and administrating these activities, introducing public and neighbors to the church's services and programs, or providing religious services such as auditing, training, ethics counseling, and cramming, to holding reception, routing communications and maintaining files, cooking food for parishioners and staff in the canteen, washing dishes, or maintaining and cleaning the facilities. I know these posts and all others within are designed to fulfill and forward the church's religious purpose and mission. So they named off a lot of different things there that we've just talked about. Every single one of those is to forward the purpose of Scientology. I also know that as part of my post responsibilities and pursuant to church policy, I am expected to study a minimum of 12 and a half hours a week to better carry out my religious duties and to advance myself up the bridge to total freedom, both in religious training and auditing, to the benefit of all dynamics. So they are saying here in this contract that I'm supposed to do that, but they don't say it's provided for you. Listen carefully to how they're wording this. You as the individual have to make sure that you do that 12 and a half hours of study. Okay. But they're not saying that time is set aside and provided for you in any way, shape, or form. You just have to make it go right. Financial support. Here we go. Pay time. My desire and my intention is to serve my religion as a church staff member pursuant to my personal religious commitment and conviction, rather than for monetary gain or other financial benefits or incentives. I recognize and acknowledge that the church is not required to pay minimum wage or overtime to me. I further understand that the church does not provide a pension or other such benefits. I want everybody to let that sink in here. That they don't have to at all pay minimum wage, overtime, or set up any form of pension if you decide to be there in servitude forever. Okay? This is crazy. Resolution of problems. Since my relationship with the church and my fellow staff members is strictly religious and based solely on my deeply held spiritual commitment to Scientology religion, I believe that any problem that may arise out of this relationship is also strictly religious in nature. So that would mean that anything that came up is religious in nature, including SA, graping, including forced marriage, including human trafficking, including holding people's passports. All of it is just religious in nature. We're just going to throw it all in a bucket of religion. Therefore, I agree that any problem between me and the Church of Scientology, whether the church or any other Scientology church, hang on, I got to go to page 3 here, guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, too much. Boom. All right. Or related organization or any fellow staff member that may arise during or related to my service on staff is to be handled in accordance with the doctrines of the Scientology religion, including the chaplain and Scientology ethics and justice procedures as follows. Here we go. A, I understand that the first step in this procedure is to summarize the problem in writing and submit it to the Hubbard Communications Office, Department of Inspections Reports, and I agree to follow this process. That means to write a knowledge report and send it to the ethics officer, to the DIR, Director of Inspections and Reports, okay? B, as a result of my belief as to the nature of my relationship with the church, my fellow staff members, and the Church of Scientology in general, I hereby agree that I will attempt to resolve any dispute I may have concerning my service as a church staff member informally by direct communication, or if that is not successful, through Scientology internal ethics, justice, and chaplain's court procedures, including religious arbitration by requesting a board of review and, as necessary, submission of the dispute to the International Justice Chief of the Church of Scientology International or his designee. So there's no instance, according to this contract, where you can seek any outside assistance with a conflict involving yourself and any part of the church. Everything has to be handled internally, and it will just keep going up and up and up. And that's what you're agreeing to. You're saying yes to this when you sign this contract. Release. We've gotten to the all caps section, guys. I understand and agree that any dispute over my participation as a Scientology staff member by its very nature would be a matter of religious doctrine, which therefore must be resolved exclusively by the ecclesiastical authorities and religious procedures of Scientology. Again, no other out than using Scientology and Scientology's procedures, okay? In accordance with my religious commitment to the Scientology religion, I therefore agree that I cannot and will not sue in a civil court or seek a jury trial in connection with any dispute with the church, any Scientology churches or Scientology-related organizations, including, without limitation, Religious Technology Center, Church of Spiritual Technology, and Church of Scientology International, any of their officers, trustees, directors, staff members, or representatives, or any other individual otherwise affiliated or associated with them in whatever capacity, hereinafter collectively the Scientology entities. And I hereby release such persons and organizations from any dispute, claim, injury, or loss I may have that is in any way connected to my service as a church staff member. So this is a very important clause. So anything, anything that you have a conflict with, you are pre-releasing them all from, including identity theft, like what happened to Rosemary. Like tough tits if they steal your identity and run up a credit card bill, you have to go through this arbitration. You're already releasing the executives of your org and whoever commits that crime beforehand. This is a get out of jail free card for anybody who's in Scientology to commit crimes freely on their parishioners, because the parishioners can never sue. They can never seek any sort of recompense outside of the church. Furthermore, number 7, I promise to never bring a lawsuit and general release pursuant to the above paragraph 6 is unconditional and irrevocable and binding on my successors, including anyone who may be acting or purporting to act on my behalf or for my benefit. However, if such a lawsuit is brought, then I want the church to submit this pledge of religious commitment, application for religious service, and general release to the court to serve as a complete basis for the court to dismiss the suit and prohibit it from ever being brought again. So that would be like an example of what Mike Brown did for his mom. So if Mike Brown then goes to sue the church, I have no knowledge if he's doing that or not. Okay. Then he can't do that. If somebody else's relative tries to sue the church on their behalf who signed this contract, they cannot. This is enormous, guys, because people who are pledging this, they are giving up their constitutional rights. They're signing them away to go work for Scientology. Okay. Number 8, it is my specific intention that this pledge of religious commitment, application for religious service, and general release serve as a general release of all claims, damages, causes of action of every kind, whether known or unknown, past or present, contingent or fixed, without limitation of any kind, which I or anyone claiming on my behalf now have or may hereafter have against any or all of the Scientology entities, including any claims that may arise in the future from any acts or events that foreseeably may occur as a result of or in connection with my service as a member of the church staff. So you just to break this down in layman's terms, because it took me a while to wrap my brain around this one, because it's a very big run-on sentence. It was definitely written by a lawyer. Basically, you're saying, no matter what happens right here, from this point forward, no one can ever bring a legal suit on my behalf for the things that happened to me, no matter what they are or who did it or, my participation or what. Forever. There is no limit to that. And in the previous clause, you're saying that you, the person signing this, want this document brought before the judge to show that you signed this, and it will bring about the immediate dismissal of any claims that you have of anything. Because you already signed a legal release releasing everybody involved with Scientology of any culpability or responsibility of anything. You have no rights. You are signing away your rights. You're signing away your humanity, your personhood. You are giving yourself completely over to Scientology. Okay? So, yeah. Commitment. I further agree and understand that I have read this pledge of religious commitment, applications for religious service and general release very carefully, and have had every opportunity to get anything in this document that I may not understood clarified. You got to clear all your words, okay? Let's go to the last page. Zoom, zoom, zoom. One more, I think. Ha! There we go. Say, without hesitation, that I fully understand the terms and conditions on which my religious service will be based if my application is accepted. As if there's like a team of people that are like, let's see if she's the one. Like, give me a break. There's very few people we ever rejected. Okay. With this in mind, and with the full knowledge of what I'm doing, I'm saying, and I've got all my marbles here, I ask to be accepted as an active participant on the church's staff and a member of its religious community. I make this pledge and application of my own free will, solely to help forward the religious goals and tenets of the Scientology religion and the church itself. By signing this application, I'm making a formal religious vow to participate in the church's religious program on the basis of the specific terms and conditions stated above and no others. Don't get it twisted. I'm confirming. Yes, yes, yes. Check yes to all of these things. B, should one or more provisions of this pledge of religious commitment, application for religious service, and general release be deemed null, void, voidable, or otherwise unenforceable by a court of competent jurisdiction, the remaining provisions shall nonetheless remain in full force and effect. So if one day somebody is like, this is nuts, and they take this contract to task in a court of law, unless the whole thing is deemed null and void, the parts left behind are still enforceable. The promises and agreements I have made in this pledge of religious commitment, application for religious service, and general release shall be governed by the laws of the state in which the church is physically located and be interpreted as broadly and inclusively as those laws will allow. Okay, so you date it, sign it, print, address, get a witness, printed, Church of Scientology, insert city here, in reliance with the truthfulness and sincerity of your representation and legally and ecclesiastically binding nature of your promises, agrees to accept you as an active church staff member and as a member of its religious community. Church of Scientology, insert state, by this person, and sign. Guys. So I asked my legal eagle a very specific question, like, how can all these things be considered ministers, right? And there is a ministerial exception, okay? This is a lot of legal mumbo jumbo, but basically, the ministerial exception, sometimes known as the ecclesiastical exception, is a legal doctrine in the United States barring the application of anti-discrimination laws to religious institutions' employment relationships with its ministers. Later on, there were several cases that basically decided what the exception applies to give religious institutions an affirmative defense when sued for discrimination by employees who qualify as ministers. For example, female priests cannot sue the Catholic Church to force their hiring. However, exactly which type of employees should be qualified as ministers, and thus how broadly the exception should apply, was the subject of recent litigation in the Supreme Court. So technically, they are correct. Anybody who works there is under that ministerial ecclesiastical exception. Okay, any single person. Now, what my legal eagle did point out, and what we can all look at here, is there's something that's missing from the signatory section. I do not see a section for parent or guardian for minors. I asked my legal eagle specifically what happens for a minor, right? So there must be some other paperwork for that. I know other people have said, oh, they're not hiring minors anymore because it's such a big, boopity boop. But if you go on Facebook, you can see all of the children that are joining staff, and they're signing this contract. Children. And by children, guys, I want to clarify my definition. Okay. Well, obviously anybody under the age of 18 is a legal child. Okay. But let's be real. Before your brain is fully formed at 25, you are in a childlike state of some sort, okay? Because you're still very impressionable. That's just science. That's not something I'm making up. So when they're recruiting 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, it's similar. It's not the same thing, okay, as recruiting a 12-year-old. It's similar. These people don't know what the hell they're doing. They're not a full-grown adult, okay? They're not fully formed as a human being, okay? So now, conversely, I never signed anything like this because they try to tell me that I violated my contract. And I was like, well, no, because the contract that I signed, guys, of course, is not enforceable. Somebody is selling, you can buy a print of the Sea Org contract on this website. Why would I want that? It's a typographic poster, fine art. Guys, who Who is Finlay McNevin selling this as fine art? Fuck you. Fuck you. Sorry, guys. That's just fucking bullshit. All right, so let's zoom into this. So this is the contract that I signed. Okay. See organization contract of employment. Oh God, it's so tiny. Can I make it any bigger? Okay, there we go. Still very tiny, but all right. You put your name right there on that top line. Do hereby agree to enter into employment with the Sea Organization, and being of sound mind, do fully realize and agree to abide by its purpose, which is to get ethics in on this planet and the universe, and fully and without reservations subscribe to the disciplines, mores, and conditions of this group and pledge to abide by them. Therefore, I contract myself to the Sea Organization for the next 1,000,000,000 years as per flag order 232, 231 maybe. So you date, sign it. 3 witnesses have to sign it. Have the Sea Org recruiter perform the Sea Org swearing in ceremony, and then you sign here, and then the recruiter signs here after you do the swearing in ceremony. Like they're trying to pretend like it's a real military situation. This is the only contract I ever signed, guys, in Scientology. This is clearly not a legally enforceable contract. You cannot contract someone for 1,000,000,000 years. So that's ridiculous, which is why they have now done this. Okay. This is very similar. The wording in here, the structure, this fucking font is very similar to what I signed as an RPFer, which stated that I could leave at any time, that I was doing the RPF voluntarily. And that when I was like, it's not for me, I'm good, I'm deuces, I'm out, I could go. That's also a pack of lies. It's also a pack of lies. I don't know if I can find that. Let's see if we can find that. You never know. People have put everything on the internet. There's a whole wiki on the RPF. That's amazing. Nope. Oh, yeah, the RPF motto. The RPF is what you make it. The RPF is where you make it. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. I wish I still had a copy of that. They don't give you a copy. Okay. Yes. Entrance. Yep. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm probably not going to find that right this second. But as you can see from this nonsense, this is their new way of getting around all of these laws. Okay. I cannot stress enough the absolute barbaric, slavery-esque nature of this contract. Okay. If you didn't think it was culty before, if you were like, well, we should just let people do what they want, not big deal. Not big deal. It's just freedom of choice. you can clearly see here that with the nature of this contract, there is no more freedom. Okay. If you sign that contract and you're on staff and your boss, SAs you, you cannot go to the cops. You cannot file a complaint against him formally, legally, because you don't have any more legal rights in America. You've signed them away in perpetuity, involving anyone having to do with the church at all. It's very serious. So these young people, these old people that you see working at any church, including the Sea Organization, what they're going to do with people who sign that billion-year contract, they're going to make them sign one of these staff contracts every 2.5 or 5 years to make them pledge the same thing so that there won't be any more Rosemarys. Everybody who's trying to leave is going to be made to sign that before they leave, before they're let to leave the building. So, yeah. Can I post? Yes, I will. I will post all of this stuff in my community tab when we're done here. I'll get on that. But this is what we have to understand, guys, is that Scientology is finding every available legal loophole to solidify their control, their absolute control over their parishioners, to just encapsulate them in this ironclad legal bubble. I don't know. There might even be one for public now, pledging their religiousness to Scientology. That would not shock me. That would not shock me. Let me get to these comments, guys, because I want to make sure I answer all your questions here. Oh, Purple Groovy 69. Yes, please give that like button a boop, a little touch assist. I would appreciate it. Hey, Summer. Summer's right here in front of my face, guys. I see her the whole stream, and I gauge how well I'm doing by her reactions. Sometimes I feel like it's good, and sometimes I feel like she's playing Tetris on her phone. I don't know. So I'm kidding. Summer's the best. Summer and Heather, and we've got Barb today in the house. So Lady Jane out, thanks for being a member. She's got me on her phone. She just showed me. I'm joking. And hey, y'all mods. Barb in the house. There she is, wielding that wrench. Howdy, kids. Summer's behind the curtain. I'm subbing in for Heather. Yes, she is. And like we said before, Grover voice. Hey, everybody. Yep. Thank you, Sushi Full, and thank you for being a member. Heather was not here today because she's on an important job interview. So if you can send her some good juju and some fingers crossed and toes crossed and some loves, we would all appreciate that, because we love our Heather and we want her to get the... What? Come on, Mac. Help me out. It's not going to do it. It's anti-love right now. What happened? Did it turn off my reactions? Summers did it. Is it going to do this? It's doing nothing. I broke it. Sue Denham, room raid from Windy City. Thank you guys so much for doing that. I appreciate. Jersey Jan 527. Hey, all. Hooray for a chat raid. Yes, Barb. Yes. Portland SP supporter Melody. Thanks for being a member. Hi, SPTV fam. Hey, everybody. Kiwi girl Eleanor. Hey, guys. Hello from New Zealand. Hugs. Always happy to be here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate. Onita GC. Thanks for being a member. Hey, what's up? Lady Jane out. Oh, no, Nora is on time. I know, guys. It was a shocker. I was shocked, too. Pamela SP Butterfly. Hey, Nora and friends. Hey, back. Thanks for being a member. Sue Denham. Hi. Hi to you. Louis is in the house. Louis in the house. If you're not subscribed to Louis, please do so. He's got all the info. Oh, no, Nora's on time. That's right. Nothing but love. Let me see if it'll do it now. Nope. I love all your videos. I'm excited to catch a live today. I'm glad that you're here. Nothing but love. Good evening from Holland. Wow. Thank you for being here, Kate. Psych on the Works. Hit that like. Give it a touch assist. Boop. And subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed, guys. Brittany Van Braco. Hey, girl. I love you back. Marilee Greetings from wet, rainy Vancouver. Yeah, we're getting some rain down here in the Portland area as well. Fluffer Squirrel UK. Hey, y'all. VTV in the house. Valeno Puddin. Thanks for being a member. Hi, Nora Mods and everyone. You're on the TV lurking today. You know, I do enjoy watching the YouTubes on the TV. It is fun because you can see like the chat scrolling really big and, you know, then see the person you're watching. It is fun. I enjoy that, actually. I don't watch myself later, but I watch other people. Hey, Fat Grammy. Oh, now what? Thanks for being a member. Oh, hello, hot dog. The gay. Yep. Jen Nelson, hi to you. Thanks for being here. Tony B, No Talk Tony, thanks for being a member. Hello back. Joanna Yule, hi to you. So this is for staff. Yes, Lady Jane, this is a staff contract for the people at any organization. But there, I guarantee you, Sea Org members are made to sign this as well to keep them from ever having a way to, you know, recompense. Maureen Laforme. Hey, Nora. Hi to you. Best big sister. Yay, stumbled upon alive. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Martha Simon's in the house. Thanks for being a member. Hi back. Chris. Church 7514. Thanks for being a member. And hey to you. Andrew B. I believe they should have to show proof of so-called interruption. I agree. I believe this is a bunch of BS. Kim White, nothing in life is free, and I'm not buying anything they're selling. There you go, Kim. Absolutely. Martha Simons, they support free speech for little tiny David Miscavige only. Very true. Very true. Marilee, it's a shame they don't follow their own rules. Yeah, for sure. Andrew B became a new member. Thank you for that, Andrew. And anybody else who wants to become a member, the membership starts at 99 cents a month, guys. It really helps me out. I appreciate so much. Real for life. Kim D, thanks for being a member. Hello from Hibbing, Minnesota. Wow. I don't know where that is. I'll have to Google that later. Lady Jane, DM change policy, even though there's a policy that says you can't change policy. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Stasia is in the house. Hello, Nora World. I'm here for the gay. Yes, me too. Andrew, Nora always bringing knowledge to We Never Ends. I hope so. That is my purpose. Yeah, this contract, guys, is whack a doodle. A bit like selling your soul to the devil. Yes. Corn Freak is here. Thanks for being here. And thanks for being a member. And hi to you. Also, if you're not subscribed to Corn Freak, please subscribe to Corn Freak, guys. They're doing great work out there in the protesting. I appreciate. Shula G, catching up. You're reading the creed, all about men, nothing about women. Yeah. When I was a word clearer, guys, I had to clear the word men because for people, just to make sure that it was the all-encompassing men, meaning like mankind. That's what L. Ron was intending. No, he fucking wasn't. He was a misogynistic pig, and he meant men. So, Jessica Neves, hi to you. Kiwi girl Eleanor, hello. Lottie's Lore, thanks for being a member. Hey, Nora in chat. I love that whack. I can't see when it prints it out. Wackadoodle, it cracks me up. Tennessee Jenny. Oh, what did I miss? Girl, you missed a bit. You missed a bit. You got to go back. Heather Rhodes, so glad I caught you. I'm glad you're here too, Heather. Fantastic. Subi, hot dog. I'm a wee bit late to the party. Morning, Nora, Heather, Summer, and Barb, and the chatters. Morning to you, Sue. Southern Yankee, yeah, it is a bunch of blah, blah, blah. I agree. Lady Jane, that's insane. By using the umbrella of being a religion, it's basically legal for them to traffic people and taking theft of passport, and they are trapped. Yes. And the person is already agreeing that it's okay with them. On top of that, they're saying, yeah, whatever happens, everything's good. Which is nuts. Yes, Rosemary and thousands of other elders. Correct, Barb. Correct. If you go to the Portland org, all you see is people over 50. You know, they're my mom's age. They're in their 70s, still working. Yes, Mike, I agree. It is absolutely wild. It is a load of horse crap, barely. Absolutely. Pippi Longstocking, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. But is it legal to sign away one's rights? That was my question for my legal eagle. Okay. If someone says that they're agreeing to these stipulations, right? They're agreeing to this contract, then yes. Now, is the contract, this is where the real legal debate comes in. Is the contract, should it be allowed to exist because it is so, restricting and actually taking away people's rights and things like that? That is a different type of case, okay, where a very careful legal team would need to attack this, like a constitutional type team, civil rights constitutional team would have to attack every portion of this with the full force of several law firms, I'm guessing, to dismantle this contract from existence because, it's kind of airtight right now if somebody signs it because they tell you like 6 times in there that you are agreeing to it. You're saying out loud, I agree to this. So, yeah. Doctor Who Heather is in the house. Would they make all current SEERG members sign this as a vow renewal or Bob Fair? Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Because as I was leaving the Sea organization, guys, there was a push to get all SEERG members to sign a 2.5-year or 5-year regular staff contract to put into your personnel file to show your legal commitment to the Sea organization. And actually, we're supposed to have you do that already when you first joined, because the billionaire contract isn't legally enforceable. It's not actually a legal contract. So the fact that we didn't have you do that was a mistake. So yeah, absolutely. That's why I know 100 million% they are having every SEERG member sign this without question to prevent any further lawsuits. No more Miriams. No more Valerie Haney's. No more none of it. The next step will be for them to come up with one for celebrities, one for the regular public, that in order for you to be accepted, because they made that clear in the contract, you're going to be accepted for this job after you say yes to all these things. In order for you to be accepted onto services as a paying parishioner, you are also going to have to start signing something like this because they can't have more Leahs, right? Can't have Katie Holmeses running around supposedly writing a tell-all book. Hot dog. I hope it's co-authored by Nicole Kidman. Okay, guys, for realsies. Now what? In my 50+ working years, I don't remember ever signing a document like this. And that includes teaching at a Catholic high school. Yeah, this is the most insane contract I've ever seen in my life. And I've had to sign, contracts at various places when you're, whatever type of worker, liability things, all that kind of stuff. Tennessee Jenny, Summer Savage wasn't me. Doctor Who, hi, all at a stoplight. Girl, don't be texting and driving. Don't get a ticket. 991 me. I don't know what that means. Thanks for being a member. I'm totally reading your thing wrong. US seems like a lawless land. Yeah, it's kind of wild. Sushi Full, a unilateral contract does not require that one party receive anything. Correct. Christina K, believe me, as a parent of a 19 and 21-year-old, I can attest to their brains not being fully formed. Samesies, Christina. Thank you. Thank you for the mom backup. Capricious Caroline, you can't contract to be a slave. Well, that's exactly what this is, Caroline. It's exactly what this is. And it is legally binding. Anyone who signs this is legally bound by the parameters set forth in that contract, which is legalized slavery. Lori A. Caffel, I'm so glad you survived your experience and are a voice for the voiceless and bringing awareness. Thank you for that, Lori. I appreciate. 1 billion years is what nullifies this document. Yes, but if they sign the 1 billion year contract, they just say that that's a religious, promise, right? It's a religious pledge. They don't expect that to be fulfilled. That's just showing your religious commitment. This, however, is a legally binding document. Capricious Caroline, they wouldn't take it to court. It's more mind fuck the members, psychological manipulation. I think they would. I don't know what the discussion was, but they will absolutely take this to court because they say so in the document that they want this document to be used for any dismissal, which is here on page 3, right here, in point number 7, right? However, if such a lawsuit is brought, then I want the church to submit this pledge of religious commitment, application for religious service, and general release to the court to serve as a complete basis for the court to dismiss the suit and to prohibit it from ever being brought again. They want to dismiss with prejudice by having signed this document. Oh, I didn't pull it up. Nora. There we go. Point 7 that I just read there. My promise to never bring a lawsuit, right there. So you're opting out of everything. And absolutely they would take it to court because they want to keep winning cases based on this ridiculous indentured servitude contract that they've come up with a lot of legalese to back it up. Stasia, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, that's a great song. I love that song. Otta Golden Era gifted a membership. Thank you for that. Appreciate. And you're a member. You gifted yourself a membership. That's fun. May the force be with you. Subscribe to Oh No Noratology. I appreciate. And thanks for being a member. Yolanda SB Switzerland. Wow. Thank you very much for the detailed explanations, which we will now use for a clarification in Switzerland. Yes. Guys, I want the fact that it's still alive in Switzerland blows my mind. But also, we really do need to break these things down to make sure that we are going at this fight against Scientology in the best way possible, right? Because contracts like this should not exist anywhere. It's not just Scientology. No one should ever be asked in exchange for your work, no possible pay, this possibility, and no rights to ever complain or, say anything about that situation. That's crazy doodles. That is crazy doodles. Fibrogal, hello to you from Northern Ireland. That's amazing. Monsi McMahon. I don't know. McMahon. Yeah, McMahon. I said it right? Okay. Hi from Brisbane. Hello to Brisbane. Hi, Nora. Sending love from Rio de Janeiro. Wow. I wish I knew how to say thank you in Portuguese. Oh my God. Flea Factory, I'm lurking. You're doing great. And I'm not even playing Tetris. I'm laughing because Summer is giving me a double bird right now, guys. She's giving me a double bird. Cricket Cinema, thank you for the super sticker. Sushiful, I'm heading to PDX in June. Nora, check your email. Dinner, chalk tuck. Yes to both. Yes to both. I will take you somewhere great here. June, I'm open on the date that you said. I haven't had a chance to reply yet. I'm planning my own trips here soon, somewhere special, and I will let you guys know. It'll be a surprise. Hey, Carrie Ann. Hi, Nora. Coming in late. Ooh, this sounds bad. And I just got here. Yeah, Carrie Ann. And you guys, if you're not subscribed to Hey Carrie Ann, she's a protester here in Portland who's out there making things happen. Please give her a subscribe. Bobby Joe Kellogg, you did catch a live. Yes, you did. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Guys, also, and I never forget them because they're here with me and they're the whole reason how I get anything done here. At Cultology Twins is my mods, Heather and Summers, wonderful. Oh, that's not right. There we go. Channel at Cultology. please, please, please give them a subscribe. Watch. They need the watch hours. They've got over 500 subscribers now, but we need watch hours. How many, Summer? How many more hours do you need? Do you guys know? You don't know? Just tons. Just all of the hours. Give me all of the hours. What? Hang on. What, Summer?
We're at about 650 to 700 hours. We need
3,000, right?
Yeah, we need about 2,300 hours, and we need about 280 more people, 85 more people.
All right. Perfect. You heard her. You heard the woman. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers here. So we need 284 more subscribers, and we need about 2,400 more hours, guys. So please, let's tune in. Let's like, subscribe, watch. They're amazing. They're doing awesome interviews, okay, with their mod friends here. And we would be nothing, guys, us streamers, without our mods in the background here, doing all the things, interacting with you guys, putting the links, all that stuff. Honestly, if I had to do all of that at once, I would lose every train of thought that I had. Okay, so just know that this does take a team to happen. And yes, thank you, Heather. Here's the link at Cultology Twins. Please go give them a subscribe. Okay. I love them very much. They do an amazing job. You hit 420 subs today. Hey-o. OT 420 in the house for Corn Freak. There we go. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. So, guys, I thank you guys so much. If there aren't any super urgent questions, does anybody have any other? Are there any questions, comments, violent reactions, as my old supervisor used to say? He would tell us something alarming and then be like, any questions, comments, violent reactions? I was like, I have a violent reaction. He's like, I knew you would. Also, guys, get your memberships while they're hot off the press. Memberships for here. Yes. Make it rain for me. I appreciate. All right. Well, I love y'all greatly. Thank you for always tuning in and finding out what is going on. Give that like button a touch assist on your way out. Boop. And make sure you are subscribed. And I will see you all on the flippity dippity. All right.